Hello, everyone. Welcome to day one of the 2-day website mastery series where we will be strategizing, building, and launching your website in essentially 2 days. You can take longer than 2 days, but I'm just showing you how you can truly do this in 2 days. You are capable of it. So let's just get down into the good stuff for day one. Now, the mission for today is to, first of all, know what a sticky website strategy is, right? Because day one is all about strategizing your website that we are going to build and launch together tomorrow. We also want to know which website strategy components actually set you up for success. And lastly, this whole day is to reassure you and make you feel supported by a fail-proof, doubt-free website strategy. So let's get started here. Let me start this presentation. So why do you need this? Well, first of all, you will have the foundations to build a brand and a value offer for any website and online business after you finish today's training. You will also have a system, an actual system that you can apply to any and all of your websites, your online platforms, your online business projects that you plan to use in the future. And you can apply this for your clients as well. This isn't like license. This is stuff, this is knowledge that I want you to use to grow yourself and your business. So this is why you need this training. Here's the action plan. I hope I'm not being too fast, but I just really want to get to the good stuff for you guys, okay? So this is the action plan. Number one, you're going to watch this training. Watch it once, twice, 3 times, as many times as you need to really soak in all of that information, okay? I really want you to get all of the information and learn this stuff at your pace. This training will be here forever. I'm not going to take it down. This is one of my treasured trainings I really like to keep out there so that it's accessible to everyone. Watch this training, go at your own pace, write down questions, okay? And then I want you to create your 1-page website strategy blueprint, which we will go over together. I'm going to show you the blueprint. Before you download it, I'll walk you through it and everything like that. So you actually know why everything is there, what I actually mean when I ask you certain questions, but you also understand more after you watch this training. But go create that 1-page website strategy blueprint after you watch this training. And then I want you to join that Facebook group. There's a link below this video to it so that you can ask your questions. And I will be there to answer your questions, but so will other people who are on the same journey as you. They'll also pop in and tell you their perspective or their solutions to the problems that you're struggling with because they've been there. And I know I've been in the industry for a while, but plenty of other people have gone through so many of those frustrating struggles that you are going through right now and that you will probably go through as you continue down this online business journey or this website journey that you are on. So this is the action plan. Is this good? I hope everything is clear. Remember, this is a video, so you can just go back, replay everything, play my voice at, 1.5 speed if I'm talking too fast, right? Or if you think I'm annoying, you can play it at two times the speed, although that might make me sound even more annoying. So let's just get started here. This is the action plan. You know what's going down. Let's get down into the training. Yes, let's get down and dirty. This is the 5-phase sticky website strategy that I use for myself, for all of my website projects that we use with clients as well. And this is a Mickey Mouse condensed version of our full course called the Sticky Website Strategy Intervention. This entire day's training is going to be about the sticky website strategy and how you're going to use it for tomorrow when we actually build and launch your website together for free, which is crazy and amazing, right? And we'll all be able to do it in as little as 60 minutes. But the thing is, you can only execute that properly if you have the right strategy. So I don't want you to rush into, building the website, your dream website. We want to strategize this first, and there are systems and frameworks for this. This is the one that we've always had success with. So let me explain it to you. We have phase 1, website goals. Phase 2, your value proposition, which I'll explain really soon. We have phase 3, your target audience. Phase 4, online branding. Phase 5, promotional planning. And then after that, you are ready to build. Now, all of this just sounds like random phrases that you might not understand how they stick together and what you actually have to do. So let me show you what that's all about. So first of all, you have to establish your website goals. This is when you set your expectations for yourself, your online presence, and for your audience. For example, which is one of my favorite examples, the local gluten-free bakery. You want to ask yourself, what do I want the website to do for my bakery? You want to ask yourself, how much time can I and will I realistically, remember, you want to be realistic with yourself, how much time can I actually put into my website? And then you want to ask yourself things like, what can my audience expect from my online presence, whether it's on my website, on my social media, everything like that. Oh gosh, I'm coughing up some, it's really dry here in Michigan. Anyway, everything is in the worksheet. And by that, I mean the one-page blueprint, which we will go over in a little bit after this training. All right. So I hope that makes sense. Listen to me again. You can rewind a little. This is what your website goals are. This is the point where you want to start asking yourself questions about what you want your website to be able to do for you and for your audience. But you also want to think from your audience's perspectives. What will they want from you as the business owner, as the website owner? And what is their experience going to be like? What do they want from that website? And what do they want from your service or your product? And think about that experience on the website and how that all ties in together. You want to start thinking about those questions. This is where you establish those goals, put it down on paper, and that's what we're going to do later. Okay, now, then we have phase 2, which is your irresistible value proposition. This is the value and the expertise which you have, I guarantee you, that you will offer your online visitors and your potential customers, right? You're running a business, okay? So your irresistible value proposition. What value do you bring to the table when you put your business and your brand online? It's you. You are a brand, whether you have, your product as a brand or you yourself, a personality, a person, whether you're a therapist, a photographer. What value do you offer? And you're going to try to dig through that uniqueness, okay? And find every tiny bit of uniqueness that you offer through your service, through your products, through your personality, through your style of writing and interacting with people. Find your value and your uniqueness. That's going to be irresistible to your audience and your potential customers. Now, for example, the local gluten-free bakery. Look at all of your areas of expertise, and I'm talking in the perspective as a local gluten-free bakery. Sorry, pause because I wasn't sure if that was clear. So as a local gluten-free bakery, look at the areas of your expertise so that you can pinpoint your exact value offer as a local gluten-free bakery, and then offer your possible target demographics to attract more bakery customers, right? Because as a local gluten-free bakery, you want to appeal to multiple demographics, multiple groups of people with different values, different interests, different priorities, but they can all become your customers, even though they're different, and you want to attract them. Look into yourself, into your service, into your product, into what you can offer, and pinpoint that. And that's your irresistible value proposition. All of that together, all of those unique points, that is what is going to make you irresistible on the web, to online visitors, to your potential customers. All right. So now let's talk about the target demographics that you're trying to please and trying to appeal to in the next phase. Phase 3, which is your target audience, right? This is when you want to analyze your buyer audiences so that you know who to target online so that they end up giving you money, right? You are not running a very, very, very expensive, time consuming hobby, right? You're online because you want to appeal to a specific target audience. Whether you want their money or not for your products or services, you're there to appeal to them, right? So this is when we're going to go through it when I walk through the one-page blueprint for you, but you want to know your buyer audience, right? You want to know what they want, obviously. But you want to know deeper than that. You want to know what they want, what they crave, what they like to see during the day, and what they like to wake up to in the morning. What are they thinking about? If you have to know your target audience inside and out so that you know how to curate things for them, you know what to make your product look and feel like as an experience to them, so they will want to engage with you and with that product and end up giving you money for it. So we'll go over that and how to pinpoint your target audience in the one-page blueprint. Okay, but that is phase 3, which is your online brand. You want to establish your online brand, and this is when you learn how crucial online branding is to establishing trust and expectations, even if you run a brick and mortar business. Okay, online branding is everything. Branding is everything. It's your consistency, right? People engage with you for an experience that is consistent, that matches an aesthetic, whether everything. It's not just visual, right? A lot of it is visual because that catches everyone's attention, but it's how everything ties in together. The entire aesthetic as a brand will build trust, build your credibility, and people will automatically know what to expect if your brand is established well. They'll know what they can expect from your products, from your services, the quality of it, the things that are included in it, because they'll know the values of your brand, the type of aesthetic it is, you know, what vibe it gives off. You know what I mean? So, for example, if you're a local gluten-free bakery or any other business or website, you are going to create your domain name. You are going to decide on your brand colors, and you are going to match the perfect brand fonts to that brand aesthetic that you're going for. And then you're going to finalize your brand logo. This is where you do all of that stuff. All right. You don't necessarily have to have a logo right now if you don't have one. Sometimes if people just make their logo a really cool looking square image of their initials, right? When they're starting out, you can always, change some small visual aspects of your brand as you move along. Plenty of huge brands have done that, right? I'm talking fast food chains have done that and everything. They've changed their colors a little, the images, the mascots. I mean, Ronald McDonald has looked different so many times. Let's not even talk about Batman and Spider-Man, all of that. I mean, they look roughly the same. You know what I'm getting at? Like they look the same, but they change the rough edges around them to really match up to the values that they have at the time. So you want to establish your online brand here. Okay, this is phase 4. Now I want to emphasize again how crucial it is to establish your online branding right now, because you want to establish that trust. Okay, so really take time to think about your answers on the one-page blueprint when you get to things asking about your brand, about your domain name. Take time thinking about your domain name. You want to ask yourself questions about how easy it is to remember, if it's too long, if the words are too complicated that you're using. This is it's really good to think about, right? So just make sure that your brand as an experience is going to be okay. Is that clear? So we're going to move forward now, and if you have questions, leave okay, so write it on the paper and then leave the questions on the Facebook group once you join that. Now we're going to go into the last phase, which is your promotional planning. So this is when you start prepping for your website's growth so that you go into your online journey fully prepared. Okay, so I don't want you to think too much about promotional planning. A lot of people get in over their heads before they even launch their websites about promotional planning. They get very stressed out about it. I don't want you to, because there are plenty of resources to make it super easy once you get there. And I can, if you go to our website, we have some resources for that. So your promotional planning is all about website growth. Okay, so we're going to go over some questions that you should fill out in your one-page blueprint, and that will help you start thinking and getting the gears moving in your head and getting you ready for promotional planning after your website is launched. You can also start, lightly promoting it before you launch it, although we are building and launching it tomorrow. So go at your own pace. All right. So let's go over the one-page blueprint. And remember, tomorrow we are building and launching your website if you want to. Some people like to watch the day 2 training first, and then they're going to sit back, take the time to revise their strategy, which I highly recommend. Take time to revise your strategy. Okay. And then they will rewatch the day 2 training where we build a website together in 60 minutes, and they'll make the website with me. Okay, so take it at your own pace. Yes, I know we will build and launch your website on day 2, but day 2 can happen, on day 3. But I highly recommend that you watch the training tomorrow or today. I know some people really love to, be overachievers, so you can watch it on the same day, but I also don't want you to overwhelm yourself, right? So let's get into that one-page blueprint. Where am I? There we go. Okay, so here we go. So this is your one-page website strategy. You have questions that I was talking about from website goals, right? So up here we have, what do I want the website to do for me? Take time to think about it and then write it down. How much time can I and will I put into the website? What can my audience expect from my online presence? And then you start asking things that are more pertaining to like your online brand, the visuals. Like, what do I want the website to look like? What can I offer my audience to gain their trust before they even contact me? This is starting to, it's like a mix of establishing your credibility, your website goals, and kind of promotional planning, right? Because you're already thinking about your offer and gaining trust and what you can put out there that will entice them to start engaging with you, right? And then your unique selling point, which is actually the same thing as your irresistible value proposition. Okay? And then, so you want to write down your irresistible value proposition here. Those are the unique points that differentiate you from your competition, and that together really make you a unique brand that is set apart from everyone else in your niche, in your industry. And then I want you to list your top 3 target demographics, your target audiences here. All right. And then your value offers. What do you offer to your audiences, whether it's a service, it's a product, or something unique like workshops, events, something that makes you different, something that you enjoy doing, that you like to offer to your audience, that you really look forward to putting out in front of your audience and saying this is for you. You can you can get value from it. It's highly valuable and you're going to get so much from it. So I know I just repeated so many words there. Please excuse me for that. But this is where you put your value offers. List as many as you can, because sometimes your memory will blank out and you can go back to this one-page website strategy and you're like, oh yeah, I have that amazing idea. And you have this list of ideas from the very beginning, and you can start developing them later down the line, right? This is where you put down all of your goals. This is your strategy to grow into. You don't have to have all of these ready right now, but these are things that you want to grow into in the future, right? You don't have to do everything within these 2 days, within this 2-day series. That is not the case. Today is about strategy and planning. So what do you plan to offer your audiences that you put here, but is extremely, extremely valuable to them? That's what you want to put in this box. Then you want to put your domain names. Start thinking about domain names. Write a few down and then start crossing out the ones that you aren't really a fan of. And then you want to move to your brand colors. So go on to Pinterest, find some color palettes that you really like. And this is for people who haven't established a brand yet. This isn't necessarily for those local businesses who already have an established brand. But for those new people, all right, go find some color combinations that you really love. Go on Google, go on Pinterest, and find a palette. And then paste the color codes here. And you can start to just have that as a reference. So when you start creating visuals, like tomorrow we'll be creating the website and we start putting in your theme colors, that you have them on hand right here. And then we're not going to get to this yet. I made this really big box in the middle just so that it could be there, but we're going to go to that last. So then I want you to write down 5 really catchy marketing phrases. Think of your head, be goofy, just be creative here. Okay, I want your mind, your imagination, like SpongeBob and the imagination box. I just want your imagination to be set free. Write down as many goofy things, as many engaging, fun things that catch people's attention. Write them down here and start crossing them out until you get to the top 5. Okay, this is part of promotional planning. These can be used in email headlines and subject lines, in ads as the first line, on ad images. These are things that will catch people's attention, that will make them remember you. And if you keep putting out these 5 catchy marketing phrases, they're consistently, throughout their customer journey, throughout their time knowing you, they're going to start, thinking that phrase is associated with you, which it is because you made it. Am I right? Okay. So now after that, websites and social profiles in your niche that you admire, write them down here. So you probably are very familiar with your own niche and industry. So go copy and paste the website URLs and the URLs of the social profiles of like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, of people who you look up to in that niche. And you're like, one day I want to have as many amazing followers as they do, but I want those followers to be my ideal customers. They're in your niche and they have amazing following, and they really have messages and products and services that you kind of want to compete with. And they're worthy of going in here because you admire them and you want to strive for them. Think of this as your little vision board for people in your niche or industry that you want to be more like, but don't copy them, right? You have your own irresistible value proposition like here, right? And this is just people who are already out there and you really look up to them and you admire. So put them there. You can use them as a target audience, like cold target audiences later when you start doing promotional planning. So, or like advertising for Facebook ads and Instagram ads. You can make ads that target the people who like those websites and social profiles. So that's why you're putting this down there. Sorry I didn't make that clear in the beginning, but that is why you need to get the links there, the social profiles, the names of those pages and groups that you follow and that you really like, because you can use this for ad targeting, for making advertisements. Okay. And then speaking of advertisements, you want to put down some sources of free and paid traffic sources that you're willing to use, right? I want to emphasize willing to use. Are you willing to pay for, $5 a day ads on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, to get your website kicked off, to get your social profiles kicked off so that people recognize you, so that they start, recognizing your brand, starting to get familiar with you? Are you willing to pay for ads? Are you willing to pay for not just ads, but sometimes you do collaborations and you want to put in your time? That to me is somewhat considered paid, but paid with your time, because whether you exchange an article for another article with someone in your industry, that's still putting in time, right? Because you're putting in a good amount of your time and your expertise into that. So promotion sources here, put them here, whether it's free, I have we have an article that I can link to below that has free traffic sources that you can use. And it's only 8 because I don't want you to get overwhelmed, right? So list them here. List down what you are willing to do to market your new website and your online presence. Then while you're doing all of this, while you're strategizing, this is a place where you can put in learning gaps, things that you're missing, like things that you're not sure of, things that you think you have to catch up on, have to read more on, have to Google a little, write them here so that you keep track of the things that will keep you up to date, that you will close the gaps, close the learning gaps so that you have an easier time along the way. Because as we're learning one thing, we might forget that we have to keep learning the other thing. So just keep a short list. It's probably not horrible. You might just be overwhelmed a little, but write down any learning gaps here. And then lastly, I want you to write down your 1-year website goals. 12 months from now, I want you to manifest, okay? I am a true believer, a solid believer in the law of attraction and manifestation, because it works. It really works if you put it into practice. 12 months from now, what are you waking up to? What are you looking at when you open up your computer? What do you want to be doing and enjoying and working on in terms of your projects? Who are you talking to on social media? What kind of things are you putting on social media? How has your business evolved? Who are your customers? All of these things. I want you to visualize that, put it down here on this spreadsheet, and you are going to start manifesting it. It's going to work. As long as you're detailed and realistic, this stuff works. So that's what I have for you on this 1-page website strategy, guys. And rewatch this as many times as you need. And most of all, I want you to make that blueprint. Okay, so rewatch this training, get it clear in your head, and then make a copy of this 1-page website strategy, which you can do so by going to File and going down to Make a Copy. Okay, and then you can make a copy into your own Google Drive, or you can also just print it like this. Okay, so do what you need to do to really get your strategy down, and meet me in the Facebook group to ask me your questions. And then I will see you on day 2. day 2 of the Website Mastery 2 Days series, where we will build and launch your website together for free, which is amazing. I can't get over it. In as little as 60 minutes, because I know how starved you guys are of time. You're super busy. You have families, you have pets, you have a business, you have jobs, and you also have a life, right? And you have to eat and do normal human things. So do those things, okay? And meet me back in the Facebook group, and I'll see you in day 2. Have an amazing day, guys.